Repeat after me. Nobody loves and cares for your horse like you do. Nobody. I've been at boarding stables literally all across the nation, from Florida, North Carolina, Colorado, Texas to Idaho. And I'm telling you, finding a boarding stable that will treat your horse like family is akin to finding this magical unicorn of a horse for like 1,500 bucks. And that's not to say that it's impossible, but it's pretty tough. Boarding stables that treat your horse like one of their own are few and far between, and when you find one, hold on to it forever. If you have one of these incredible unicorn boarding stables, never leave and be an incredible boarder and appreciate them. If you're at a not so great boarding stable, or even one that's just average or, all right, you need to be your horse's advocate. Being your horse's advocate is all about being attentive to your horse's care and condition and management and speaking up for them when you need to. I've been at some really incredible barns, but I've also been at some really difficult and challenging barns. I have been at barns where bringing up care issues or management issues, even if ordered by the vet, is like pulling teeth. Whatever you do, don't be bullied into not getting your horse the care that it needs. Your horse is counting on you, yes, you, to be in charge of its weight and condition. You can't rely on your barn manager or your barn owner. Maybe at a really good barn you can, but at most barns, you need to be the one looking at your horse. Don't count on them. You should be the one noticing changes and opening the dialogue about management and feed issues. I've seen cases where horses have gained or lost a ton of weight, and there's been like not one word of communication between the stable owner and the horse owner. I've actually been at 2 separate stables in the past like 8 or 9 years where I've seen horses founder because they were overfed by the barn owner. I've seen horses actively foundering, put out into lush pastures and fed grain and not given immediate medical attention, and then after bad things happen and irreversible damage is done or horses die, we can all, wring our hands out and say, well, it was just couldn't have been prevented, and everybody acts like it just was gonna happen no matter what. Don't let this happen to your horse. Your horse gaining a ton of weight is not inevitable. You need to be able to open a discussion with your barn manager if your horse is either gaining or losing weight. Don't let something bad happen to your horse because you're trusting the manager or owner, barn owner and barn manager to be making these decisions and managing this kind of thing. You can't count on them. If you haven't already, go check out my video of how to track your horse's weight and condition. It's super easy, even if you don't have an eye for it. It's all about taking pictures, getting that weight tape out, and making a habit of it every single month. You can track your horse's condition really easily and see what's going on before trouble starts. Another way to be your horse's advocate is to keep an eye on his or her environment. Keep an eye on the fencing, keep an eye on the water buckets. Is the care deteriorating? Look at this kind of stuff on a daily basis or whenever you're out. If you do see issues, unsafe fencing, empty water buckets and things like that, make sure to bring up your concerns and address them with your barn manager or owner in a very unemotional and professional manner. I know it's easy to get really worked up about this when your horse is in danger or when it's being, not being cared for properly, but try to remain calm. Even if you came out and your horse is standing out in like 90-degree weather with no water and no shade and you're absolutely livid, keep your cool. You don't want to be pointed at and for them to be like, oh, you're unstable and things like that. You need to bring it up to them as professionally as possible. You have to be beyond reproach. Unfortunately, at some point, enough is enough. It can be exhausting to entrust your horse's care to a stable that is chronically falling short in care and management. No matter how great the amenities are, sometimes it's just not worth it anymore. I've left really, really nice barns for smaller barns with less amenities just because they took better care of my horses. This is what being an advocate for your horse is all about. Obviously, things can happen, everybody's human, horses are horses, they're gonna find stuff to get hurt on, but when something's happening over and over and over again, that's when it's time to leave. Being your horse's advocate means making the tough decisions to put your horse first, even if that means leaving a barn full of friends. You have to do right by your horse. I know these are really tough issues. I've been there. leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing with this stuff. I would love to hear about it. And like this video if you found it helpful, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, happy trails.